This male protagonist has attracted a lot of female ninjas because his cooking is delicious. Someone lived with him, someone was neighbors with him. There are a lot of Yukai hunting humans in this world. After the protection of the female ninja, every time you encounter an attack from Yukai, the male owner only needs to stand and play with the phone for a while. The female ninja can help him kill Yukai. The world is full of dangers, and the male protagonist unexpectedly became the safest person. I hope you will enjoy this anime review. Subscribe to my channel to start today's story right away. Tsukasa Awakens is an ordinary office worker. One night he came home from work, and suddenly a steel bar fell from the upper floor, and a female ninja appeared to save Tsukasa Awakens. The girl's name is Shizuri Moves In, and Tsukasa Awakens is very nervous under her narration. Tsukasa Awakens has a special blood flowing through her body, so she was targeted by Yukai in another world, and the steel bar that just fell was disguised by Yukai. In the past, ninjas protected Tsukasa Awakens in secret, and the life of ninjas hiding in the shadows was hard, and Shizuri Moves In took the initiative to move in with Tsukasa Awakens in order to eat the food in the city and play the latest games. The women that Tsukasa Awakens usually comes into contact with have very average conditions, but they have high requirements for marriage partners, and Tsukasa Awakens has always thought that it will be difficult for her to get married in her life. He didn't expect that he would be able to live with a beautiful woman, and Shizuri Moves In had very few requirements. As long as he could provide ordinary food and take a bath once a day, this female ninja was very happy. In later days, Shizuri Moves In helped Tsukasa Awakens hunt Yukai every day, and Tsukasa Awakens bought her the latest game in gratitude to Shizuri Moves In. The relationship between the two becomes ambiguous, and Tsukasa Awakens gradually adjusts to this life. While Shizuri Moves In and Yukai are fighting, Tsukasa Awakens is even able to play mobile games calmly. That's when a ninja named Momochi appears, and she's always admired Shizuri Moves In, believing that her idols are now very depraved by playing games and eating takeout. Momochi wants to kill Tsukasa Awakens before bringing Shizuri Moves In back to the ninja. Shizuri Moves In sensed Momochi's intentions and stopped him with a powerful aura. Momochi enjoyed being reprimanded by her idol and decided to find a place to calm her emotions and left for a while. Unexpectedly, there was a sudden power outage at this time, and a ninja named Hina found Shizuri Moves In. Hina falls in love with Toru Nakayama, who is under her protection. While on a mission, Hina has violated the precepts of Ninja Village, and she will lose all the assistance that Ninja no Sato provides. Hina asks Shizuri Moves In to help her train in order to improve her combat power and protect Toru Nakayama. Toru Nakayama came to visit Hina during training, which made her even more motivated. With the help of Shizuri Moves In, Hina overcame her inferiority complex and managed to rise to the level of her ninja and become stronger. Shizuri Moves In ends up falling asleep from exhaustion by helping Hina train and stay up late playing games. When Tsukasa Awakens went out alone, she was held hostage by Momochi. Momochi's fascination with Shizuri Moves In has been twisted. Fortunately, Yukai suddenly appeared and ruined Momochi's plan to attack Tsukasa Awakens. Momochi was injured in a battle with Yukai, and Tsukasa Awakens discovered that the ninja was enjoying the pain. On top of that, Momochi's figure was sexy before the start of the fight, and her boobs features completely disappeared at the end of the fight. Momochi's real gender is male, and because she is so disgusted with this gender, Momochi disguises herself as a woman with props. Tsukasa Awakens agrees to help keep the secret, and Momochi's impression of him improves. Tsukasa Awakens thinks he's finally solved all his problems, and the next day he meets Momochi again, along with newly moved Hina and Toru Nakayama. Shizuri Moves In is in a very bad mood, and she is worried that the three new neighbors will disturb her cohabitation life with Tsukasa Awakens. Soon Shizuri Moves In changed this mind. First of all, Tsukasa Awakens fell ill unexpectedly. Shizuri Moves In is not good at housework, and if she takes care of Tsukasa Awakens, the male protagonist of the third episode of this anime will die of illness. Luckily, there is Hina, a very caring girl, and with her assistance, Shizuri Moves In managed to get Tsukasa Awakens out of her illness. Shizuri Moves In changed her clothes and raised her beauty to a higher level. Tsukasa Awakens subconsciously praised her dressing style. Shizuri Moves In was so touched that she hid in the bathroom and cried for a long time. The girl had never been in love, and everything today felt like a dream for her. Shizuri Moves In has another important thing to do, to confirm whether Tsukasa Awakens also has a crush on her like a lover. Halfway through, Shizuri Moves In goes to buy ice cream. Tsukasa Awakens unexpectedly meets a high school classmate. The two boys talk about Shizuri Moves In. Tsukasa Awakens reveals his thoughts. Shizuri Moves In is like a family member. Shizuri Moves In, who was not far away, heard the conversation and burst into tears uncontrollably. Shizuri Igura was going to confess to Tsukasa Itsumi on the way home, but Yukai suddenly appeared and ruined her plan. Shizuri Azura was very angry and killed Yukai with ninjutsu. She was covered in blood and was very embarrassed, so she had to postpone the confession plan in such an atmosphere. The next two new characters are a big headache for Shizuri Idura. The first is Kanna Natsumi, who is a high-ranking ninja and has always regarded Shizuri Idura as a competitor. Shizuri Idura won every time they met, and Kanna Natsumi was so reluctant that she asked for another match every once in a while. This time there was no suspense in the battle, and Kanna Natsumi was thrown out the window by Shizuri Idura. Strangely, the damaged room was repaired on its own in an instant. At this time, a second new character, Saya Hazuki, appeared, and it was she who used ninjutsu to repair the damage to the room. Saya Hazuki wears two identities, an apartment owner and a mentor to Shizuri Idura. Saya Hazuki has been on a secret mission to protect the samurai descendants from Yukai revenge. Many years ago, ninjas and samurai fought against Yukai together. Later, some samurai returned to ordinary life, and Saya Hazuki was tasked with protecting the descendants of these samurai, and Tsukasa Itsumi was one of them. Saya Hazuki has been trying to make money in order to have the money to protect the samurai descendants. Saya Hazuki asks 4 female ninjas to work for her in order to pay for the repair of her room. They were forced to compromise by Saya Hazuki's overwhelming strength. Saya Hazuki opens a cafe that blends the theme of a maid and a ninja, and the identity of a female ninja fits perfectly with her work. They changed into sexy clothes and were very shy when they worked. Saya Hazuki calls Tsukasa Itsumi and Toru Nakayama to the cafe to train their mental endurance. Shizuri Idura poured beer from excessive nervousness and slept for several hours before waking up. Shizuri Igura plans to confess while he is drunk, but he vomits due to the after effects of drunkenness, and his confession plan is postponed again. The following night, Saya Hazuki suddenly attacked Shizuri Idura, and she did not elaborate on the reason. The conversation between the two ninjas reveals a message that seems to be related to Tsukasa Itsumi's samurai bloodline. After a few rounds, Shizuri Idura lost the fight. Tsukasa Itsumi bravely stood up to protect her, and Saya Hazuki was silent for a while, temporarily sparing Shizuri Idura. 24 hours before the end of the world, Yukai from another world is about to invade Earth. Yukai is very powerful this time, and low-level ninjas can only be their food. Sadly, no one realizes that the end times are looming. Shizuri Idura is an exception, and she's telling Tsukasa Itsumi a big deal. Ordinary samurai descendants, because they have been passed down for too many generations and have thin bloodlines, generally do not encounter too many Yukai attacks. Tsukasa Itsumi has been plagued by Yukai since he was a child, and his bloodline is destined to be special, which will eventually lead to the high-class Yukai. He must rely on Shizuri Idura's ninjutsu and the power of Tsukasa Itsumi's awakened samurai to have the possibility of defeating Yukai together. Shizuri Azura had always been lucky, but Saya Hazuki couldn't stand it and warned her, and finally made Shizuri Azura have a sense of crisis and decided not to be decadent and continue to practice. After learning all this, Tsukasa Itsumi had insomnia, and he didn't want to be a burden to Shizuri Idura. In order to awaken the power of the samurai as soon as possible, Tsukasa Itsumi made a training plan. Shizuri Idura also made a plan. The first thing she did was to quit her favorite game and devote all her energy to her spiritual practice. As a result, there was a counterproduct. Shizuri Idura, a heavy game otaku, had a severe withdrawal reaction, and her spirit was extremely depressed and fell into a deep sleep. At the same time, Yokai's invasion begins, and 2 Yukai come to Earth through the purple teleportation array. A nearby ninja came to investigate, but they didn't even survive a round. Yukai with fangs is called Kira, and her companion is named Karina. They are high-level demons who can extract the memories of low-level Yukai, and Kira has her eyes on Tsukasa Itsumi's samurai bloodline. At the moment, Tsukasa Itsumi is working hard. Kira suddenly appears behind him, and Tsukasa Itsumi is under threat of death at any moment. Luckily, Shizuri Idura woke up and rushed over, and based on the information gathered, Karina recognized Shizuri Idura's background as prominent. Kira gets excited. She's a battle freak like Kanna Natsumi and loves to fight the strong. Karina is also difficult to entangle, and she has set up a magical barrier to prevent the sound of battle from attracting human powerhouses. In order to satisfy Kira's desire to fight, Karina did not besiege Shizuri Idura with Kira. It's a pity that even so, because Kira's combat power is too strong, Shizuri Igura has no chance to attack at all. She is on the defense the whole time. Shizuri Idura is overdrawn, but Kira is still full of energy. Tsukasa Itsumi saw that Shizuri Azura was in danger, and he subconsciously rushed forward. At this moment, the samurai blood in his body awakened, and he actually blocked Kira's attack, and Shizuri Idura quickly took out his sword to temporarily force Kira back. The danger did not end. The power of the samurai was mainly reflected in defense and healing, and Tsukasa Itsumi did not have any means of attack. Coupled with the fact that his power had just awakened, he couldn't resist Kira for too long. At the critical moment, reinforcements finally arrived, and Kanna Natsumi received a notice from Saya Hazuki to join the battle. Under her guidance, Tsukasa Itsumi used the power of a samurai to alleviate Shizuri Idura's injuries. But the problem is not solved. Even Shizuri Idura can't beat Kira, and Kanna Natsumi's chances of winning are even slimmer. Fortunately, Hina Izumi and I Am Momochi also received a notification from Saya Hazuki. But strangely, Saya Hazuki, the strongest combat force, did not appear. Fortunately, Kira had consumed a lot of physical strength in the battle just now, and now she is not in peak condition, and Kanna Natsumi has temporarily held her back. I Am Momochi also has a battle plan, and she is mainly responsible for chasing down Karina and letting Hina Izumi perform powerful ninjutsu. This means that I Am Momochi is likely to be injured by mistake, and they are all touched by his spirit of sacrifice. In fact, I Am Momochi is because of his special habits, and he especially enjoys being reprimanded or injured. The plan went very well, and I Am Momochi grabbed Karina and together entered the range of Hina Izumi's attack. As a result, everyone did not expect that Karina was not injured. This Yukai looked very weak, and his real combat power was not lost to Kira at all. However, there is also good news for the protagonist group. I Am Momochi needs to consume energy to maintain female disguise. He was accidentally injured in the battle just now, and he has returned to his male form. Next, he will show the best of himself. Relying on the cover of her friends, Tsukasa Itsumi bought time to treat Shizuri Idura. At this dangerous moment, Tsukasa Itsumi and Shizuri Idura speak their hearts, and they have long regarded each other as the most important beings. Shizuri Izura can't help but kiss Tsukasa Itsumi, and the nourishment of love activates her strongest state, and Shizuri Izura quickly returns to the battlefield. Kira was very excited. She didn't mind the defeat, she didn't mind the fun. It's been a long time since Kira has faced an opponent of her level, and she's also going into battle at her best. Ninjutsu and magic collided fiercely, and after dozens of rounds, Kira was overdrawn due to continuous battles, and finally lost this crucial battle to invade Earth. Karina was cautious and quickly opened the portal and took Kira away. Shizuri Idura faints as soon as she gets home, and she is also overdrawn in battle. That's when Saya Hazuki appears, and her narration clears everyone's confusion. Saya Hazuki belongs to the secret army of ninjas, specializing in dirty work. Later, her daughter, Shizuri Idura, showed a special talent and was chosen as the alternate leader of the ninjas. Saya Hazuki wants to sever the mother-daughter relationship and prevent her daughter's future from being dragged down. Shizuri Idura was so sad that she ran away from home and unexpectedly met Tsukasa Itsumi. The two children got along very well. It's a pity that Yukai suddenly appeared, and Shizuri Idura was too young to fight against her, and she lost all her memories in the battle. Saya Hazuki simply gets along with her daughter as a teacher, and Tsukasa Itsumi has this memory removed. It wasn't until recently that he remembered his encounter with Shizuri Idura. Tsukasa Itsumi wanted to help Shizuri Izura fight, so Saya Hazuki shortened the time it took for him to awaken the power of the samurai with forbidden jutsu, at the cost that Saya Hazuki could no longer perform ninjutsu, which was a mother's love for her daughter. After so much has happened recently, everyone goes to the hot springs together to relieve their fatigue, and Shizuri Idura knows that I Am Momochi has perverted thoughts about her, so she warns the other party that she must keep a distance of 3 meters. I Am Momochi was very unwilling and tried to sneak in halfway. Shizuri Idura threw the towel as a dart, and I Am Momochi was frightened and quickly retreated to a safe distance. When the girls soak in the hot springs together, one of the things they will definitely do is to test their bodies. Everyone found that I Am Momochi had the sexiest figure, so they treated her as a prisoner and interrogated her about the reason for her good development. At this moment, the crowd suddenly caught Yokai's breath, and they immediately ran to rescue Tsukasa Itsumi and Toru Nakayama. The appearance of Yukai this time resembles an octopus, and Kanna Natsumi is most afraid of octopuses, and she is scared into a coma just by looking at them. I Am Momochi was sent out by Yukai in order to protect Shizuri Idura. Shizuri Idura and Hina Izumi's swimsuits are dissolved by the corrosive slime that Yukai spits out, and they curl up in a ball to cover their private parts, unable to fight back against Yukai. Tsukasa Itsumi and Toru Nakayama covered their eyes and encouraged Shizuri Idura to put aside their burdens and join the war. Yukai moved faster and caught Shizuri Idura and Hina Izumi first. Fortunately, I Am Momochi rushed back at this time, and she and Yukai fell into a protracted battle, but I didn't expect Yukai to be able to absorb the power of the ninjas, and in the end, I Am Momochi couldn't hold it and was caught. The powers of different ninjas repel each other, and Yukai doesn't realize this, and when it absorbs multiple forces, Shizuri Idura seizes the opportunity to defeat Yukai and they survive the crisis once again. One day after that, Shizuri Igura met Kanna Natsumi's sister on the street, a girl named Yuzu, who was also a ninja who had come out to look for her sister because she was missing. Yuzu rushes to the maid cafe where her sister works. Shizuri Igura had a premonition that something would happen and followed, but what she feared most came true. Yuzu is very traditional, she can't understand how her sister can get a job as a maid, and the two sisters have a very unpleasant quarrel. After Yuzu leaves the cafe, she is harassed by 3 hooligans, who use her ninja strength to scare the bastards away. Yuzu was disappointed with the city tour, but luckily there were good people here. Saiya Hazuki solves Yuzu's confusion. The reason why Kanna Natsumi stayed at Saiya Hazuki's restaurant was to follow her in ninjutsu. The older generation of ninjas like Saiya Hazuki is gradually retiring from the stage of history, and the current ninja world lacks leaders, and there is an urgent need for the younger generation to shoulder the responsibility. Yuzu always thought that her sister was not doing her job, but now that the misunderstanding is resolved, the two sisters have finally repaired their relationship. The bad news for Yuzu is that she is also forced to work in a maid's restaurant, and Kanna Natsumi's reason is to let her sister experience a new life. Yuzu eventually escapes because her clothes are too revealing. At the end of the story, everyone ushered in a happy ending, just as Shizuri Igura and Tsukasa Awakens are about to have their second kiss. Kira and Karina, Yukai invade Earth again. Shizuri Azura is very angry because the kiss was interrupted, and she vows to counterattack the other world and kill all Yukai. Congratulations, I've watched another anime review on my channel, and you are welcome to rate it in the comment area. Recently, a concept of reverse travel has become very popular. Elves from another world travel to the Earth, or a ninja who lives in seclusion in the mountains comes to live in the city. This would have been a very good setting, but these works generally have a problem. The male protagonist obviously got strong foreign aid, but he didn't encounter the corresponding enemy or trouble. Lack of plot that makes the audience feel a sense of urgency. In the end, it all became a daily funny animation that lacked highlights. I hope to meet better works to bring to you next. Well, that's all for this video. If you like this video, don't forget to like it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There are also many funny anime reviews on my channel. See you in the next video.